Hey folks, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do the Coloring Memories tag, and that was a tag created by Elm Colors, and I was tagged by Kirsty Color and Sketch. So thank you so much for tagging me, Kirsty, and making me feel included in the community. I'm fairly new to the community, and it's just been just overwhelming. I can't even put words into how wonderful the welcome has been. Thank you to all of those who have subscribed, who have liked my channel, who have left comments on my videos. It's all so encouraging, and it just helps so much to grow the channel and to feel welcome in the community. So I am not that used to coloring and talking at the same time. I am a teacher, I'm a chemistry teacher, so I am used to talking and doing something else at the same time, but usually it's writing, not coloring. So we'll see how this goes. I hope it's not too awkward, but we'll do the best we can. I'm going to be coloring today with some Pitt pens, and I'm going to be coloring in Joanna Basford World of Flowers. This is the UK edition. Notice the spelling on color. And I prefer this paper to the US paper. This is smoother, it has less texture, so when I'm using Pitt pens, markers just always feel better on a paper that's got, less texture. I am going to be kind of shifting the book around because I'm one of those colorists that like to turn the book, and depending on which way I'm coloring, then so I'll just to get the angle right. My plan today is to color some of the pots and containers in this page. And I think I mentioned before, I like earth tones and I like sort of those muted color palettes. And I really like coloring flower pots and things like that in one of two colors. I like making them look terracotta, or I like making them look like a sort of a natural kind of like a warm gray beige color. And I do that using these Pitt pens. So this is, hopefully we can see if we can get this to focus. This is Warm Gray 1, 270. You could certainly do this with any of the polychromos materials as well. You could use, or sorry, any of the Faber-Castell materials. You could use polychromos to do this. You could use your Albrecht Dürers. So that was Warm Gray 1, 270. This one's going to be hard to see because they put white writing on a light colored pen. It's Warm Gray 3, 272. And I'll try and remember to put these colors down below too. This is Terracotta, 186. And this is Sanguine, 188. So hopefully that focused okay. All right, let's see if I can manage to do this. Keep my brain going at two different things at the same time. I don't think I'll do all of these containers. Maybe I'll do some of the containers in brighter colors. I'm not sure. My thinking was, you'll see I've already started a little bit. All of the containers that looked like they were see-through, in other words, I could see, flower stems coming down into it. I just assumed they were glass. So I based those with this Pitt pen Light Indigo 220. And then what I did was the top part, you can see it looks lighter than the bottom. I used a white Pitt pen, the brush Pitt pen, which I think I've mentioned before and used in a video. This is a great pen. It's opaque, but not super opaque. So what it will do is it will lighten up anything you put it on top of, but still keep a little bit of that color coming through. So what I will do, maybe I'll do a little shading on the edges too to make this look more round, and I'll probably do that shading later on with pencil. And then I will use either my clear glaze, Jelly Roll glaze pen, or sometimes for bigger areas like this, I'll use, it's the Tim Holtz, oh my goodness, now I forgot what it's called. Glossy Accents. This one. So I'll use one of those to then make these look like glass. That was my point. So just these few little areas here, these see-through vases. But I want to focus on some of these containers, and yeah, hopefully I can show you how I color, those kinds of materials, whether it be terracotta or clay. It's not super complicated or fancy, so I hope you guys find something in it that maybe you haven't thought about before. So I'm going to zoom in. And I'm trying to think which one I will start with. Maybe I'll start with this sort of tub here. And I think I want to make that look terracotta. So I have a scrap piece of paper off to the side. Because I'm going to be using a lighter colored Pitt pen over a darker colored one, every so often I just scribble off the lighter colored one just to make sure that I'm still getting that pure color and I'm not getting any of the darker pen, you know, being carried over. So you won't see that. That'll be off to the side. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to base this with the terracotta color. So while I'm doing that, I will answer the first question. Did you have a favorite coloring book or books as a child? You know, I can't remember. And I will, so you're going to get sort of a bit of life story, I suppose, here too. I grew up in a home that didn't have very much money. And, you know, I had wonderful, loving parents, but we just didn't have very much money. So any coloring books that I had probably would have been, I don't know if any of you remember from sort of the 70s and 80s, that's when I was a kid, they were really inexpensive coloring books. They almost had like newsprint, oh, sorry, make sure you can see here, like newsprint paper almost. It was kind of a really rough, yellowish looking paper, and that's what any coloring books I would have had as a kid, they would have been those. So I don't remember, you know, a special one or one that I really enjoyed, you know, versus any others. It was just those really inexpensive ones. I remember getting them for Christmas. I remember coloring Santa Claus a lot. So in answer to that, I guess I didn't really have a favorite as a child. All right. Now that doesn't look super smooth. That's okay. And I'm going to leave the lids off my Pitt pens. So, I mean, you can't leave the lid off forever. It probably will dry out. But just to put it to the side, it'll be okay. Because this next part, I'm going to use the sanguine to do a little bit of shading. And I actually want the terracotta available quickly to sort of spread out the sanguine color before it dries. So that's why I leave the caps off. Number 2, what was my go-to art supply as a child? We didn't have a lot of money. I don't really remember having, I remember having some pencil crayons. That's what we would have called them. I'm a kid here in Canada. And I remember having crayons that would have been Crayola. But I don't really remember having anything fancier than that. I don't remember. I think one year for Christmas, it was a Crayola art caddy. I think that's what it was called. Maybe if I can find a picture of it, I'll try and insert it into the video, but I can't be guaranteed that I'd find a picture. So it was this revolving plastic caddy that had art supplies in it, and I think it had some cheap kind of Crayola paints maybe in there, and it had probably some pencil crayons maybe. It would have had I don't know if it had markers in it. I don't remember any markers. Crayons, probably. And it probably came with a little bit of paper, maybe? I don't know. You know what? I'm over 50. Childhood was a long time ago. So that's all I remember. So I don't remember any, you know, go-to art supply. I kind of used what I had. Just what was available to me. Number 3, did I color or draw more as a child? Absolutely colored. I cannot draw at all. I think I showed this in a video previously. My drawing skills are molecules. I can draw. Here, would you like a demonstration? Here we go. Here's my scrap piece of paper. Let's see. Am I on camera? There we go. There we go. Well, that's there. Yeah, I like that. And then, well, actually, well, I could have shown the resonance structure, but I didn't. Then we've got here. That's this. And then we've got this. There we go. That's my drawing skills. So I can't draw. I can't draw at all. So yeah, did I color or draw more as a child? I can guarantee you I colored, because even as a child, I was well aware that my drawing skills were very, very, very limited. And, you know, I had a friend. I shouldn't say had a friend. I have a friend. She recently moved, though. And she was a wonderful, wonderful, amazing artist. And she and I talked about drawing. And we came to the conclusion that, and I've been trying to work on this. Sorry if my hand keeps getting in the way. I keep forgetting that I'm on camera here. Part of being able to draw, and also I think coloring is you know, there's an element of it there too. You need to be able to see as an artist sees. Meaning, I keep trying to, she would try and help me to draw. And I would keep drawing what I thought was there. So in other words, you know, I would draw what I thought a bird should look like instead of what I actually saw. Or I would draw what I thought a chair would look like instead of what was actually in front of me. And so I think that's something I struggle with, is retraining my eye to, you know, see what's there instead of what I think should be there. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but yeah, I think that's part of my drawing problem. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm putting this sanguine at the edges underneath that lip, right, where there would be a shadow if that lip stuck over. And it's not a perfectly smooth blend, but it's just kind of a method. I don't know, I just kind of like the way it looks. You know, terracotta wouldn't be a super smooth surface anyway, so yeah. Number 4, do I have a favorite coloring memory as an adult or a child? All right, so this is confession time. I struggled a lot when I was a kid. I think, I mean, I was a kid back in the 70s, right? So you just, back in the 70s, you kind of just, you went to school and I don't know, people didn't worry too much about the things that they should have maybe been worried about. I don't know. It was a different time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I was tested for, basically they wanted to put me ahead of grade. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I never really understood. I understood books. I understood math. I understood science, but I didn't understand people. And you know what? Confession time, I kind of still don't. I struggle. I struggle socially. Probably, if I would have been a kid now, I probably would have been tested and they probably would put me on the spectrum if I had to guess. I don't understand emotions very well. I have a really hard time. Sorry, we're sort of done that one. Let's move over to, let's do this little pot here. I don't tend to understand emotions. I really struggle reading facial expressions. So emojis when they first started to come out, and then they started to really kind of multiply. So there was like these really kind of small changes in a facial emoji, and it was supposed to represent different things. I don't know what they represent. I have to hover over them, and then it'll usually give you like a word like surprise or you know, the ones that I can recognize without having to hover over them are basically happy, sad, and angry. Beyond that, I struggle, and it sounds funny, and I know I'm kind of embarrassed admitting this, but so anyway, all this is to say, I struggled as a kid, and I remember coloring as being, I really enjoyed it because I could, excuse me, I could be by myself, right? I didn't have to talk to anybody else and have them, you know, make fun of me not understanding the joke or not saying the right thing or, yeah, kids are mean, right? So, and I also was allowed to color in school once I was done my work. And because I was a smart kid, I mean, I just, that was, everybody has gifts, right? That was my gift. I did really well at school. They actually ended up skipping me a grade. Yeah, it was just, drawing was not my gift. But I just got school. Yeah. So when I was done my schoolwork, the teacher, because I would be done a fair amount quicker than lots of the other kids, because the teacher needed to, you know, focus on the other kids and help them, and that was fine. They just let me color because it was something I could do, and you know, I was quiet, and I was happy as a clam, just being allowed to just color. So that's a kind of I don't know, kind of embarrassing. I don't know if you're supposed to get that personal in these get to know you kind of tags, but yeah, that was a happy or a favorite memory as a child, was just being able to color, and I could kind of escape into the coloring, if that makes sense. Number 5. What was your first adult coloring book? You know what? I think it's the one I'm coloring in. After I got married and I was teaching, and I didn't do that much coloring anymore. It kind of wasn't a thing that adults did. It just wasn't. And it kind of started up again probably in the 2010s sometime, like the teens in there. I think it did start up again before COVID, but not I don't think early. I could be wrong though. But yeah, so Joanna Basford was one of the first ones that I came across, and I think it was either this book or her Christmas book. One of them was my first book. My first adult coloring supply was, if I remember correctly, I think it was polychromos pencils, which maybe, you know, oh, sorry, I got out the 2 warm grays now because I'm going to do that little vase there, sort of a clay color. So this one here. So I'm going to base it with the lighter color first and just basically do the same thing I was doing with these other terracotta looking pots. Then put the darker around the edge and kind of spread it out a bit with the lighter color again. That's really all I was doing. And again, it doesn't make a super smooth transition, but sometimes I kind of like that look. Now I forgot what the question was. Oh, first adult coloring supply. I think it was polychromos. And maybe that's why polychromos is my favorite, because it was my first. I don't know. Not long after polychromos, I did get a set of Prismacolor. So I kind of had the 2 ends of the spectrum kind of right off the bat. So I had the layering pencil, and then I had the kind of wax-based smooshing pencil. I think a lot of people refer to it as that. It's that, you know, you can layer Prismacolor, but you can also just kind of smoosh the colors together. So I had both those pencils. My husband's outside doing a little bit of lawn cutting, so hopefully it's not too loud. How did I get into adult coloring? I just kind of, I don't know, I always liked it, and I had purchased some coloring books for my daughter, And she wasn't really interested. My daughter is much more musical than artistic. And so there were these coloring books laying around, and I had got her, I think, it might have been a small pack of the Stettler Ergosoft, maybe. And I just picked it up and just started coloring again. This was even before I bought the Joanna Basford book or had the Polychromos or the Prismacolor pencils. And I think I just started coloring and thought, hey, I forgot how much I like this. I think I'll do more of it. So, yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the vases that are patterned. I'm not sure if I want to make those like kind of multicolored glass. I'll have to think about that. I think I'm going to go back to my terracotta colors though. And I'm going to move the book a little bit here because I want to go up here. And I want to make sure this is in screen. Again, sorry, I keep forgetting to look up to make sure if I'm on the screen. So I think I will do probably this little one right here. No, I think I'm going to do this one because I think I'm going to do that one terracotta. So yeah, I got into adult coloring just again because I had these books that I had bought for my daughter. She wasn't super interested, so I picked them up. And then it just kind of went, I remembered how much I enjoyed doing the coloring and just went from there. Number 8, who was my first YouTube colorist? It was Jennifer Stay. It was Coloring Bliss. I think I started watching, I know it was before, I think it was like 2018, maybe early in 2018. I'm not even sure how I stumbled across her channel. I might have been maybe wanting to look something up. I don't know. Maybe YouTube just suggested it to me. I don't know. But yeah, she was the first. And she's just such a kind, sweet, genuine person, both her and Steve. And, you know, they've done so much for the adult coloring community. I really can't thank her enough for, you know, sort of, I had already kind of come back to coloring, but it just sort of cemented it for me. It was like, hey, there's all these other, I don't have to just color like I did when I was a kid. There's all this other stuff that, you know, I can learn how to do now, different techniques. Yeah, so it was Coloring Bliss, Jennifer Stay. Number 9, what's the first page you remember being really proud of? This is going to sound terrible. I'm not really proud of anything I've done. Doesn't that sound terrible? Sorry. I still don't think I have talent. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't have talent. And I always have been a perfectionist, which worked really well for math and science in school because there was a right answer, right? So I could, you know, I just decided to make these little stripes just straight sanguine. So give it a little bit of like that. I'm not sure I like the shading on the top part there, and this bottom part maybe needs to come out a bit more. But it's always kind of like, and this is why, you know, the question is proud of something. I don't think I'm proud of anything because I just don't think I'm very good at this. I'm still learning, right? So yeah, I don't know if there's the one page that I think turned out, well, maybe there's 2 pages. And hang on. So I'm going to zoom out in this book, actually. There we go. Let's see if we can get back on screen. I've done, because this was one of my first, there are some pages that I've done in here that I look at and think, I guess that's okay. I don't know. I think I probably would have done a lot of things differently. I started coloring the cover of this. Again, okay. Guess I would have, you know, now looking back, probably done things differently. I haven't done that. I did this. It's okay. Those are okay. All right, I guess. I don't like that at all. I don't think I did a good job there. Don't think I did a good job on most of those. That one's okay. I think I showed that one before in maybe my fall colored pages, maybe. I don't like that one at all. I think that's really terrible. I don't know what I was doing there. These flowers are okay. I was more using this page as kind of a, I guess you can't quite see the whole book, like a practice on different kinds of flowers. So I was trying to do like a fuchsia, like a gladiola flower. This was supposed to be, I think I was going for like a Jack in the Pulpit kind of thing. This is like an iris, bearded iris. Yeah. This was, what are they? There's a flower that's got like a checker pattern on it. Fritillaria? I think it's called a fritillaria. So, yeah, I kind of was using that as just a test. This is okay. I was kind of going for like a glow coming off of this, but I don't think it worked. I don't know. The whole background has got like a little bit of a sheen to it. There's a lot of metallic. There's some gel pen on there, and I was kind of going for magical, but I don't think it worked. That I really don't like. Yuck. We'll just move past this. Move past it. I'm kind of proud of this. And there was a lot of tiny little details. So you can see I did a lot of the terracotta kind of stuff, right? I did a lot of that clay kind of look. Some metal. We've got some kind of wicker work. And this is mostly pit pens. So I can even, oops, wrong way. I can kind of zoom in. A lot of this was pit pen work. And a little bit of the background is just polychromos pencil. So I did a blue kind of shading in all the different backgrounds. But the leaves and the flowers and everything, that's mostly pit pens. So yeah, I do a lot of coloring with pit pens. So there's some more terracotta there. Sometimes I mix it up and put the terracotta and clay in the same one. So I guess I was kind of proud of this one. So that was maybe one. I'm trying to think what else I've done in here. That was just me playing around with some distress inks, so it's not. This one is maybe proud in the sense that I think I took maybe some risks with this one. I don't know how the lighting is working here, but it's brighter than I certainly have done in the past. So, you know, maybe that's, I could be proud of that. I guess maybe proud, maybe I was thinking about the word proud in the sense that, you know, proud because I did a really, really good job and I would be proud to show it to people, maybe. But maybe I shouldn't be thinking that way. Maybe proud can just mean I took a chance and I used bolder, brighter colors than I do normally. And so I'm proud of myself for taking that risk. You know, maybe I should look at it that way instead. But yeah, and I think that's, yeah. And then, so that's all I've done in here. And then I'm working on my page here. And I think the other one page that I might say I'm proud of is in this book. And it was the page that I did as a buddy color with K, coloring with K. And it was this, I just have to find it here. It was this page. And it's the page that's, you know, sort of my my channel picture. And it's the lab page. And I think I just tried a lot of different things on this page. You can see, you know, the glass, flasks and things. So, you know, just making glass look like glass. I tried really hard to do that. With the shading on some of the, you know, like the microscope there. And a lot of this was done with pit pens too. The shading on, you know, the base to the microscope. Again, no, I don't, when I'm coloring with pit pens, I don't worry about super smooth transitions with shading. I don't know, it's just kind of maybe more of a cartoony look I'm going for. But yeah, put a little bit of shimmery paint, I think, on the smoke billows there. And then I put little sparkly bits in the background. So I think maybe this is another thing that I could say I was proud of. And most of the rest of the stuff I color, I tend to look at it afterwards and think, ugh, what was I even thinking? Why didn't I do that? Even now, you know, I did this while I was, now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, well, I could have done that better. Could have done that better. So, yeah, I struggle with that. Oh, forgot to put my page back in. And number 10, what made you think, yes, I'm now absolutely an adult colorist? I don't think that. I think, I don't know, I guess I should, but I tend to just be more like, you know, I'm trying to learn, but I don't know that I think of myself as an adult colorist yet. Maybe I'll get there one day, maybe. And the bonus question, who in the coloring community do you remember reaching out to you and making you feel included? Well, definitely Kirsty Color and Sketch. She, you know, she was the one who tagged me on this video, and, you know, thank you so much, Kirsty. There are others too. When I went to do my first few videos, there's been so many colorists that I've watched and learned so much from, and I didn't want to mention them in a video without tagging them. But I also didn't want to tag them without asking them first, because, I don't know, I just felt that was kind of, you know, if you're going to tag somebody, you should probably ask them. So I reached out to them, and it was kind of like, in some ways, reaching out to coloring royalty. I didn't know. I thought, well, I will reach out to them and ask if it's okay. And they may get back to me, they may not, right? If they got tens of thousands of subscribers, you know, what are the odds they're going to, you know, care about little old me? But Karen, Zucchini Kitty, was one of the first ones to get back to me. And I was just floored because, I mean, this Zucchini Kitty, she's amazing. And she's got like subscribers, and she was thankful that I asked her, and she just made me feel so welcoming. Lucy Just Adds Color is another one. Coloring with Kay is another one. You know, we did that buddy color before I had even started my channel. She made me feel so welcome. I had reached out to Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, of all people, to ask if, and I really didn't think I'd hear back from her, but she did. She, you know, she asked me what my channel was. She even said that she watched that for where I was talking about pronouncing chemistry, the chemical names, and she really liked it. So there's just been so many. Even Steve Stay, you know, I reached out to Steve and Jennifer to ask if I could tag their channel in one of my videos. And Steve was like, sure, that would be wonderful. You know, what's your channel name? So the community, I just find, is so, so, so welcoming. I'm just trying, I don't want to miss anybody that I've reached out to. Color with Claire was another one, got back to me. She said it was okay if I linked her stuff. Shell's Coloring Journey. Just these, you think they're like coloring royalty. and they get back to you. They, you know, it's amazing. It truly is amazing. So there's definitely been a number of people who have just made me feel really, really welcome. I know who else. Color Me Stress Free, Debbie at Color Me Stress Free. She actually posted on her community tab a link to my channel. So thank you so much, Debbie. That was amazing. I had reached out to her to ask if it was okay if I had, if I linked her channel, because I had gotten a really great coloring hack from her about using alcohol markers on double-sided pages. The Coloring Kid, Imogen, was another one I reached out to, and she was so sweet and so wonderful. And because I think I mentioned the amazing job she does on Clara Markova pages. And so, yeah, just amazing, wonderful people in the coloring community. But yeah, those were two that I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to mention as well. And I can't forget Corey at Colorfully Optimistic. I reached out to her as well, again, some coloring royalty there. And she was so kind and so welcoming. So again, so many people have been so wonderful. And I think that's it. So I don't know if you want to see me finish this. Maybe a goblet shouldn't have been terracotta, but this one is. It just is. So hopefully that gave you a little snapshot of me and my coloring journey so far. I definitely hope to make more of those chemistry videos. I know I had a lot of interest and people were saying, yeah, we really want to hear more. And I definitely will make more. The videos that I had posted since then were just sort of content that I had previously recorded. So I thought, well, I'll, get those out first. And then I'll record some more of the chemistry kind of content. I also know that there were some folks who wanted me to do like some collection videos or videos showing how I organize and store things. I can certainly do all those. It'll just take me a little bit of time. That's all. I'm still a teacher and I still have courses that have to be taught and students that have to be answered and things that have to be graded. So yeah, as much as, we would all probably love to do coloring full time, we can't. All right, so hopefully that lawn mowing noise outside isn't too loud. If it is, I'll see if I can try and take it out in the editing. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you again, Kirsty, so much for tagging me. This was fun, and hopefully I managed to color okay while I was talking. I didn't color very much, did I? Oh, I forgot to mention about tagging someone else. So, and also thank you so much, Elm Colors, for starting this tag. I'm pretty new to the community, so I don't think I'll tag anyone because I'm not sure who has already been tagged. This is an older tag, so, I don't want to tag somebody that's already been tagged. So I'm just going to say, anyone who's watching this, you consider yourself tagged. So if you've got a brand new channel and you want to make a video and tell us about your coloring journey, your coloring history, then you consider yourself tagged by Coloring Chemist. If you're liking what you're seeing on my channel, please consider subscribing. Please hit that like button. If you subscribe, remember to, I think they say, ding that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you're notified when I post a new video. And leave a comment. All of it will help my channel to grow and help me to know what kind of content you guys would like to see. So thanks so much for sticking with me. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is safe. And I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. Till next time, bye.